What's going on, guys? I am Toxic Jordan. Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be taking down the Universe 6 Saga stage of the VEGETA'S edition for Red Zone here. So I'm actually going to be running this team again. I am very quickly falling in love with this team build here. So, you know, obviously Glorio is one of my favorite units in the game to play with, and his team is just so fun. It's so widespread. There's so many options for it, but I found that this team build in particular is actually quite interesting and fun to run. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump in with it and see how we do here. Okay, so I think it looks like, yeah, our rotations are already set up. Perfect. Well, actually, that's not perfect, because the first stage of this red zone does have character locking. So if we get unlucky with that, it is a 100% chance to lock too, so it's gonna happen. Let's see who gets locked. Yes. And with that, our rotations are screwed. No! Okay, well, not a huge deal. Obviously, this does kind of jip Glorio out of being able to be in slot 3 and provide that support. But this first phase is so weak anyway that we shouldn't really struggle too hard here. Getting that hefty attack in there with Cell is going to help quite a bit as well. We're only dealing with a 70 million HP pool, so this shouldn't be too bad. This definitely shouldn't take too many turns to take down. But yeah, the less turns it takes for us to get through this first phase, the better. Just so we can stop dealing with that character locking and then, you know, actually, like, start building our rotations the way that we want them. Which they were perfect up front here, but it looks like they are going to get a little bit screwy at the beginning. Not too big a deal, though. But yeah, the idea is to have the Cell in slot 1, and then have Janemba in slot 2, and then obviously Glorio slot 3. And then on the opposite side, we'll have the Giant Ape Vegeta alongside the Super Saiyan 4s. So while these units don't link amazingly, they don't have like a ton of links active together, it's really important to note that Cell and Janemba share Big Bad Bosses, so that's like their most important link is going to be active. And then for the Vegeta and the Super Saiyan 4s, they have Giant Ape Power together, so that's going to kind of be their most important link, right? So yeah, getting those units paired up will be very beneficial for us for the majority of the fight once we get to the point where we're able to, right? And I think we're looking pretty solid here. Okay, yeah, I was gonna say, based on the current positioning of people, nothing too bad was gonna happen based on where anyone got locked, right? Okay, and actually we can, because Glorio didn't get locked in slot 2, we can actually put him in slot 3, and then this will help us get started with our proper rotations here. Now, most ideally, we would want to have the Great Ape Vegeta in slot 1. He is going to be a better slot 1 unit overall than the Super Saiyan 4s, but for their very first turn, it doesn't make any difference because they have 77% damage reduction, so they are actually going to be a very viable unit up front anyway. So yeah, that shouldn't be too much of a bother for us. As we get later in the fight, there's going to be some really tough bosses here. So I might have to dig into the intricacies of these characters' kits a little bit more. So with that being considered, I'm going to pull up all of their passives on the wiki right now, just to make sure there's nothing I'm forgetting about or missing out on with them. Some of these units I have down pat. Like the LR Super Saiyan 4s, got them on lock. I know exactly what to do with Glorio. But yeah, mainly, like, I just want to make sure I'm not missing or forgetting anything with Cell, or with Janemba, or the Vegeta, right? Okay, so yeah, here's where we get a little bit of a tricky situation. We just got a little bit screwed by that character locking on the first rotation, right? Because we weren't able to put Glorio in slot 3, which means now technically we have 2 of our slot 3 units on rotation. So that's not the most ideal situation. We do want to just continue to rotate off the Gohan. He's not going to suffer too hard. It's not like he has to be in slot 3. It's just that's the ideal thing for us for the way this team is built, right? But yeah, as long as he doesn't have to take any slot 1 hits, then he'll be perfectly fine. So, in fact, with that being considered, maybe I should double check how these links are working. Does he get any extra links with them? No, it really doesn't matter. It's the same either way. Okay. Then that's fine. We could just do this. Okay, considering orbs and stuff for next turn, we do have Texel, so I think I'll just grab these. Yeah, that'll probably work fine. Alright, let's see what we're looking at now. So the first stage was 70 million HP pool. This is going to be 120 million. We've got all type disadvantage, so we're probably not going to be doing a ton of damage here. Though we do have the Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. He does hit quite hard, right? And then for, you know, the first turn, he's going to be launching a lot of additional super attacks, right? But yeah, it's just going to be a matter of if we do end up getting some critical hits or anything like that. Which he isn't really built with crits in mind, so... probably not here. But the next turn should be pretty heavily damaging with the Texel and stuff around, so that's not going to be too bad. Okay, I just have to pull up the physical Janemba here. Sorry, I'm a little bit... my focus is a little bit split. I'm trying to watch the screen, but I'm also pulling up all these cards on the wiki on the side. Just figure we can keep things running while we're doing this, instead of pausing or making a cut or anything like that. Okay. Okay, perfect. So the main thing that I want to be able to keep track of is, like, the damage reduction that everybody has. Just because the very final phase of this fight is going to have dodge cancel and guaranteed crits on super attack. So that's going to be quite a scary thing to deal with, right? Okay, so I think this is going to be the right play here, to go ahead and rotate Texel off. We might as well get him Fierce Battle active by putting Vegeta in the first slot there. But it looks like... maybe we should play defensively here. That's probably smart, to play defensively in this case. Let's just go ahead and not really select any orbs with these guys, so that we can get a bunch of orbs with Texel. Though, I guess if I grab all of these with the Super Saiyan 4s, we're still going to have a lot of orbs available for Texel. Yeah, I guess let's go ahead and do that. That way we can still do, like, a lot of damage with them and stuff. Unfortunately, only one Rainbow Orb for him, which is bad, because obviously he does get the 10% damage reduction per Rainbow Orb obtained. But he's not getting hit with anything until post-Super anyway, so he should be fine. This enemy does hit quite hard, though. They're already up to a 2.2 million super attack stat. So that's not going to be super free. And then it will be kind of important, minorly important for us to finish this guy off quickly, because starting from the third turn, he's going to be dealing 30k damage to us at the start of every turn. So taking as few of those as possible will be nice. Oh, and then actually, I just realized he has like a countdown super attack here. So I wasn't really paying attention to his exact turn things here. Okay, so actions 1 through 6 are normals, and then his 7th action is a super attack. So you can actually keep track of exactly when those are going to happen. Okay, so this is action 7 right here. We should live this. Yeah. Post-super, our defense was definitely high enough. Okay, yeah, the 30,000 is like measly, right? That's definitely not going to do anything. Okay, so we do have to keep Gohan on rotation again, because we have the other Glorio here, and then on the very next rotation, we will finally be able to rotate the Gohan off, right? Okay. So nothing too troublesome with the orb selection here on this turn. I guess in the off chance that he survives, we'll just leave all of the... Oh, well, no, because we don't have Tech Cell on the next rotation. I was just automatically thinking that we should save the orbs for Tech Cell, the AGL and Tech orbs, but nonetheless, that's not going to be a problem. Okay, so 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, so he's not going to super attack again until his 14th position, which there was 7, and then this brings him up to 11. So I imagine it would be like his last attack on the next turn would be his very next super attack. So we're definitely not going to have to deal with that. Because, yeah, even if he were to survive here, which he's not, then we would definitely finish him before he was able to do 3 more attacks to us, right? Unless they were cheeky enough to put all 3 attacks in slot 1. Okay, perfect. Okay, so now we're on to this next phase. There is no abilities at all in this phase. Oh, I see, it's a Fury gauge. Okay, I don't actually know what's going to cause that gauge to fill up. As amazing as a website it is, I guess I'll switch to the wiki and show you really quick. This is what I'm always looking at on Dokkan Info here. As amazing as this website is, it doesn't give us quite all of the information that we need for the enemies. So I'm able to look at all the stats, you know, all the attack stats, all of the enemy, like, abilities, things that they're immune to, things that they affect you with, the things that their super attack causes, you know, the turns, that how many times they can super per turn, the cooldown for it, all of this stuff. But it doesn't tell me anything about, like, rage modes, or, like, those fury gauges. It doesn't tell me what fills them up, what depletes them, what specifically is going to happen once they fill, which obviously here it's pretty easy to assume that once that fills, he's going to transform into this guy. So yeah, I would assume we just need to fill that up and then see what happens from there. But it's just going to be kind of a guess at the moment. So we'll see if it's based on, like, a certain number of super attacks hitting him, a certain number of turns passing, certain types of orb selection. We'll see what ends up happening there. Okay, but now we don't have to deal with any character locking for the rest of the battle, and we do have our rotations fully set at this point, so that is the good news. This is going to be a very nice turn for orb selection as well. Easily back to 100% HP here. And then double 24 key supers there, and I guess we'll save all of those yellow orbs on the side, just because we have the rainbow orbs as well that we're going to want to have for Tech Cell there, right? Okay, so the Fury gauge did not go up at all with any of our orb selections, so I don't think it's going to be orb selection based. We did select both type orbs and rainbow orbs that turn, and it didn't change anything. Okay, so the super attack that we just did raised the gauge. Let's see. Oh, the gauge didn't even show on that second attack. Was that a bug? That was weird. Or maybe it just didn't show because it didn't raise the gauge? I'm not actually sure. So, like, that one didn't show... Oh, yeah, it is still raising. That was just weird that it's not showing it. Like, as the enemy's HP depletes, the little Fury gauge is gone right there. I kind of don't like that. It's making it harder to tell if it's actually raising during attacks. That feels like a bug. I'm pretty sure that's not supposed to be like that. Maybe that's just something that they've more recently updated with newer attack animations and stuff. Okay, let's see. It's hard to tell if it's actually procced on every single attack. We do have different kinds of super attacks that are launching. So, like, the LR Super Saiyan 4s... I think they have special supers on both of their super attack effects. Yeah, this Fury gauge is filling up quite quick. And then Glorio has a special... Does he have a special super as well? Yeah, so I'm not 100% sure if it was just, like, going to fill up per super attack performed, or if it's per, like, a specific type of super attack performed. But nonetheless, it is filled now. I guess to fact check that, we could see... Vegeta... Yeah, he has a special super here. And then the LR Gods, it did fill up for both of their attacks. They have special attacks on both. And then Glorio has a special as well. So maybe it is just with specials, because there was only one time where it maybe didn't look like the gauge filled up, and that was when we got the additional attack with him, which was a Ki Blast super. So maybe that's what it is that the special type super attacks fill it up only. Who knows, though? I'm really not sure about that. Okay, now let's see here. So now that he has transformed, it looks like he has a cooldown of 9 on his super attack. He can do it once per turn with 15% chance. It's going to be a 2.8 million damaging attack. His normals hit for 1 million. He only has 175 million HP, though, so that's the good news. And then he's going to be getting attack and defense 15% up per turn for the next 10 turns. Okay. This should be a pretty good turn for Cell here. 4 Rainbow Orbs is really, really good for him. He's at 90% damage reduction right now because he has the 20 from base, then he has the extra 20 for there being a superclass enemy, and then the additional 40 from the Rainbow Orbs we just got there. And then for Gohan, how do I want to do this? I guess I almost don't even want to get the 24 key with him. Let's see. I don't think that there's any real reason I need the 24 key. He just gets... Let's see. Yeah, there's nothing in there. He gets extra defense with the 18 key, and then he gets guaranteed crits with the 24 key. I guess maybe I should try and get him the 24 key then, huh? Oh, it's starting from the 5th turn from his entry. Wait, but is it? It is the 5th turn from his entry. Okay, so yeah, with that considered, I will go ahead and do that. I think I'm going to select these orbs on the side. That'll help me split up the orb selection a little better. With all those reds, I was just worried that the orb field was going to look really, really bad afterward for the next turn, right? Because we do have a couple orb-hungry units on the next rotation. Okay, no super attack there. The only place I'm really worried about the super attack taking place would be at the very end here against the Gohan. He would be the one unit that, you know, might potentially suffer. So, if anything, I would like to see the super attack proc, like, now. Right now would be good? No. Okay. So, if we're gonna see the super attack happen, it's gonna be here. Then I guess our only hope really is going to be for Gohan to do 1 million additionals so that he didn't even do a single additional. Oh my god. It's because his entrance animation rolled off. Okay, wow, we actually just got lucky that there was no super there. Okay, so then again, we should be safe. Okay, we'll grab all these orbs for Vegeta. And then we can still get a decent amount for the Super Saiyan 4s there. Would have been nice to get some more Rainbow Orbs for them, but that is not the biggest deal. And then we want to save Tech and AGL Orbs for next turn for Cell. So yeah, I guess we'll just grab these for Glorio and call it good there. We're getting close to that Dokkan attack. Ideally, I would like to have this phase finish off so that we can do the Dokkan attack on the very last phase. Because the next phase coming up against the Int Hit is going to be the very last phase of the fight. So that Int Hit is going to be quite gnarly to face off against because, like I mentioned earlier, he disables evasion, so our Glorios are not going to be able to dodge, neither is our Janemba or anything like that. So we're going to be... And also, when he launches his super attack, he gets a guaranteed crit with it. So yeah, with those things considered, and the fact that he's got a 3.6 million damaging super attack, we are definitely going to need to be relying on critical hits, right? Or not critical hits, relying on damage reduction more than just defense. Which is one of the benefits of this team build that we've got here, right? Because we do have a lot of damage reduction between most of these units. But yeah, we also have a lot of utility with transformations, active skills, things like that, that are going to help us out in that final phase. So hopefully we won't have to deal with a situation where we actually have to take one of those super attacks to the face. That'll be basically the biggest thing that we're relying on. Okay, so it looks like as long as we don't proc that Dokkan attack on the next turn, more than likely we will KO this phase on the next turn here. Yes, more supers, that's what we want to see. As many as freaking possible, please. There we go, and the crit. Okay, with that last critical hit, that pretty much sealed the deal, I think. That we are going to clear through this phase without worrying about, you know, preemptively getting the Dokkan attack. The only thing, though, is we do have to select same type orbs here with Cell. We don't really have too much of a choice on that matter. I mean, I guess we kind of have a choice if we were to select these orbs with Janemba instead, and then maybe grab all those purple orbs with Cell. But I kind of want to prioritize just getting as many orbs as possible with him. The Dokkan gauge is low enough, we should be fine. As long as these are the only same type orbs we select, yeah, it's still low enough that we're going to be okay here. So we'll grab these orbs, and then let's see. Yeah, there's no way the Dokkan gauge is going to fill. I think even if I were to have grabbed, like, physical orbs, we would still be fine. And then we'll just go ahead and get the one. Okay, so with 22 million attack stat here, we definitely should be good. And we have the friend Glorio, which is going to be attacking much stronger numbers than mine, because he's rainbowed, right? Okay, that didn't do nearly as much as I would have hoped. Unfortunately, no critical hit there or anything. We didn't get an additional either, so that definitely does hurt. But there we go. There we go. Now we've sealed the deal. We just had way too much possible attack power to... It would have taken some really, really bad RNG to not KO on this phase, right? Okay. So now, here we are on the final phase. Attacks are guaranteed to hit. I guess we are lucky that the that we don't have a Glorio on rotation, right? So we get one turn where we don't have to worry about a unit that needs to depend on dodge not being able to. And then, you know, the other thing is that, like, the only reason I decided to even chance bringing him is because he has type advantage, so I figure with, at least with all the stacks Glorio can get within the turn, that he would be able to tank normals at least. Okay, so, a couple of things to consider here. Well, the first thing is not even a consideration. Let's go ahead and launch the Family Kamehameha. This was the main reason why we brought this physical Gohan on the team, because we're going to have this really, really heavy damaging attack with type advantage against this last phase. So that is very good. You love to see that. Okay, and then that's also going to give him a massive attack buff for the turn, right? Let's see. Yeah, it gives him full Ki 24 and attack 58%. So he is going to do a lot of damage for us by the end of this turn. So that's really, really good. Now, the next order of business is, this is the point where we want to transform with the Super Saiyan 4s, right? Not only are they going to get a big power buff, but now we can see exactly where that super attack is at. We can see that it's in the first slot there, so we're going to go ahead and swap these two, get the LR Super Saiyan 4s in the first slot here. They will have a 77% or a 70% chance to counter that, and even if they get hit by it, they still have 77% damage reduction. So I imagine we'll be okay either way. Because, I mean, their stats are insane, right? So we're not going to take any damage from normals or anything. But because that super attack will be a critical hit, that is something we still have to be a little bit cautious about, right? Okay. And then I kind of want to save... Oh, man. Yeah, I guess we can't get an 18 key with him anyway. So let's just go ahead and grab these. That way we can save all of those tech orbs for Cell on the next rotation. Maybe I should grab these orbs, actually. Oh, wait. We're almost to that Dokkan attack. Hold on. Let's just ensure the Dokkan attack here. That way we know we're getting it with our hardest hitter on the team. Yeah, there we go. That's definitely the best idea. Okay, and then let's see how much damage we can end up doing here. That was a really, really fast Dokkan attack. I'm impressed that I got all 7 of those. Very nice, very nice. Okay, yeah, so this is about to be quite a ridiculous turn for damage between the physical Gogeta and the Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, right? So one other thing, there's one other ability that this hit has, is that once his HP is 40% or less, he gets an attack buff of 30%, so he's just going to be hitting that much harder, which I don't think is going to change too much, because that just means that his normals are going to go up to probably, like, 1.6 million instead of 1.3 million. Okay, there we go, and we are getting the counter, because while we can't dodge him, nullification and counters still are something that is active, right? So not only is that good for us to not potentially take damage there, that meant that we dealt more damage as well with the counterattack, so that is very good. And then, yeah, as I was saying, with him getting that extra 30% attack and defense, I don't think that's really going to affect much, because if we get hit by that super attack regardless, even with the strength that's at now at 3.6 million, we still would be in trouble, right? So I really don't think that that ability is going to affect us too much. But I could be wrong, because the other thing is, like, if we have a bad turn with Tech Cell, he has type disadvantage, and now we're facing off against an extreme class unit, so he doesn't get the extra 20% damage reduction for free. So yeah, that is going to be something that counts against him for sure, right? So he only has 20% damage reduction, and then whatever other 10% per Rainbow Orb that we've got. That's all that he's going to be depending on, aside from defense, right? Okay, so let's see here. Hit has a cooldown of 11 on his super attack. He did quite a few attacks there, which means it's still pretty likely that there is a super attack on this rotation. He is also below 40% now, so his attack power has gone up. Let's go ahead and activate the Janemba Rage Mode. And then that way, hopefully, within this Rage Mode, he blasts his super attack off for turn 11, so that we don't have to worry about taking a super on for, like, the remainder of this turn, right? I think that'll probably be the smartest way to go. And then we should prioritize getting a lot of orbs here, because this Janemba actually can do quite a bit of damage within this Rage Mode here. But then we also have to keep in mind, I don't think there's going to be any more orb changing that happens again afterward. And we do want Tech Cell to be able to get some orbs. So we'll go ahead and leave these green ones for now. We'll just do that. And then I think that should be solid. Okay, let's see how much... what on earth? What on earth? Why did my... Sorry about that. Let's get back to... my hello? Oh my goodness, YouTube is absolutely self-destructing right now. There we go. Okay. I don't know why that happens sometimes. Sometimes, very rarely, occasionally, when I am on my Dokkan OSTs playlist on YouTube, because that's how I have the background music going for you guys. Okay, there we go. There's the hit super attack that we wanted to see, right? But yeah, when I have the music, the background music going, sometimes, occasionally, when it finishes one, it will just stop playing my playlist, and it will just go to a random YouTube video. So you guys got to hear the truth for a second there. Okay, so... we're definitely not going to have another turn of Glorio since we're rotating him off, so we might as well launch his active skill now just for some free damage. It is going to give us the attack disable as well, which I guess is better than nothing. It's nice, but obviously isn't going to be, like, super important for us to have. Though, actually, it does get rid of the one slot 1 attack, so that is better than nothing for sure. Okay, and then now we know we only have to deal with normals for the entire turn, so we're definitely going to be safe here. Let's go ahead and save all these physical orbs for the next turn. So we'll grab these with Janemba, and then we can just grab this tech orb, I guess? Yeah, that'll probably work out fine. Okay, and then it's looking like next turn is probably going to be the very last turn of the fight. This cell just does not have, or the hit just does not have enough HP to keep up with us, right? Especially only dishing normal attacks for the entire turn here. Not going to be that bad for us. Oh, and actually, we have a fun little thing coming in. Because if, I guess, I mean, it's possible we just straight up KO here with Glorio even. Oh, and I guess that is another question mark, right? Is if Glorio is going to be able to tank the normal at the end. He should be able to. I feel like we'd have to get really unlucky with the amount of super attacks he does in order not to get enough defense to tank. It'd probably be like 1.6 million. And even if we're less than that, we could take some damage from it and it'll be fine. As long as we don't get straight up one-shot, which we would have to take 660k. So yeah, I think even with like only like 2 super attacks, his defense is already high enough that we wouldn't get KO'd from a normal attack hit, right? Okay. And then if the enemy is to survive, which he didn't, we were going to have the LR Super Saiyan 4's active skill, because he was below 50% HP there, and then that would have finished it off for sure, right? So yeah, we still had a lot more power left in the tank there, but we didn't even need to use it. We were perfectly fine, and we would have had the Scouter for the next turn to know exactly where that super attack was going to be. We had the other Glorio's active skill as well, which would have provided another attack disable. So yeah, we still had a lot of fight left in us. That is kind of the beauty of that team. I am very, very much enjoying that team at this point. Okay, well, there we go. We got Stage 7 cleared. So that is going to go ahead and do it for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to check out the links in the description below, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace.